Hello, my name is Brittany and welcome to Family Friday's Paint Night. A few words before we begin. Thank you for your continued interest and support for this workshop. You can expect a new video every third Friday of the month for the foreseeable future until we can resume classes in person at the Art and Spirituality Center. Speaking of which, there are other classes being held virtually if you are interested in taking any of those. I'll leave the link to our virtual calendar in the description box below. As a reminder, my class was made to promote bonding between family and friends. You do not need to be an artist to enjoy art. My art isn't perfect, so don't feel yours needs to be either. For all those participating in this activity, I want you to try your best and don't worry about the outcome. My hope is for you to let go, get lost in the artistic process, and forget about what's currently happening in the world, even just for a little bit. One last thing before we begin. Feel free to pause, rewind, fast forward, mute, or do anything you need in order to follow along with this video. I normally take over 3 hours to complete a painting, even though my class runs about 2.5 hours. For the sake of time and to make a short video, the clips you see of me painting are sped up significantly. Please, by all means, relax and take your time. I hope you enjoy. Let's get started. Here is what we will be painting for August of 2020. Disclaimer, this is not my original artwork as I found it somewhere on the internet. I do not take credit for this concept and I wish I could find the original artist to give credit. Think of this as a study of the original artwork. Here we have a silhouette of what I believe is either a heron or an egret bird watching the sunset on the beach. Feel free to take artistic control, change the colors, make additions or adjustments, or change it up completely. The choice is yours. Alright, let's talk about paint. We will be using acrylic paint for this activity. You can use the fancier, more expensive paints if you want to. For this project, I'll be using paints you can find at your local craft store or even Walmart that are less than $1. We'll need a few colors: pink, red, orange, yellow, sky blue, a darker blue, mine is cobalt blue, purple, black, and white. We'll only need 3 brushes today: a large flat brush, a medium flat brush, and a detail brush. Some other materials we will need: something to put under the canvas or canvas board, such as a tablecloth or newspaper. You can always use a mat board like this one that I've used several times for other paintings. Of course, you'll need something to paint on. I personally will be using a canvas board, 12 by 16 specifically. You can use an actual canvas of any size too. Then we have our paints. You'll need a plate to put the paint on. You can also use a palette if you have one, a water cup to clean your brushes, and lastly, a paper towel or an old towel. I have a towel I've used plenty of times for other paintings, as you can see here. Okay, order of operations how this painting will go. First, we'll do the background, then the bird. I'm just kidding. Specifically, we'll start with a light blue going into a pink, then a yellow, orange, and red. Then a little below halfway, we'll do a darker blue for the horizon. And then the sand on the beach will be red, pinks, oranges, and purples. And then a little bit of purple for the shadow on the beach. Okay, now we'll move into the silhouette of the bird. I'm going to explain it as best as I can. Drawing out the bird, first we will start with the body, then we will move on to the neck and the head, followed by the legs and the feet, and then the little shadows from the bird, and I forgot to mention it here, but also the 2 birds flying in the sky. Okay, so measuring about 3 inches from the bottom right hand corner and 1.5 inches above that line, I'm going to make a little mark for the bottom of the bird. And then a little bit below where we did our horizon, about 2 inches, I'll make another little mark. And then about 2 to 3 inches above the horizon, I'll make a mark and then connect all those lines. Basically, we're going to be making a diamond shape for the body. And then I'm just going to make a little mountain peak right there, one last bend of the bird's body, and then connect it to where we first started. Okay, from the top and left peaks, we're going to start from the middle and just make a curved line going up for the neck, and then following that curve a little bit, stopping where we stopped on the other side, making a little candy cane shape, and then finishing that curve, then a nice little triangle for the beak. And then we're done with the head and the neck. Moving on to the legs, we're just going to paint 2 thin lines and then 2 lines for the feet, and then a circle where the knee bends, and then also some watered down black to make shadows for the bird. And then last step would be to paint the birds flying in the sky. We will start off with pouring out our paint. First, I'm going to start off with sky blue, going to purple, pink, yellow, orange, red, that dark blue, and white. Feel free to change up any of the colors if you want to. I was just going off of what we originally had for the inspiration picture. But feel free to do whatever you want. It's just all about blending the colors together. I find it easy to always have your brush a little bit wet, so it's easier to move on your canvas, and also add some white in there to make it a little bit lighter if you want to, especially on that sky blue and pink color. If your paints are a little transparent, a little see-through, so you can see the white of the canvas like how you can see here, feel free to add a second layer. You'll see in the video that I'm going to do 1 full layer of all of the colors, let that dry, and then do a whole second coat, and I might change up the colors, move them around just a little bit. So as you can see here, I've already started with the sky blue and the pink, and I felt that the pink was a little bit too dark for what I was going for in this certain part. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of white just to make it lighter on the pink and the blue. But from then on, I'm going to move on to yellow, orange, and red. And then about an inch below the halfway mark of the canvas, that's where I will use my dark blue for the horizon, and then move on from pink to red to purple. So have fun, take your time, and again, this will be where you will spend the majority of your time. So just enjoy painting, and I will talk to you back again when we start the bird. Okay, so I already drew the bird off camera, but you can't really see it in pencil, so I'm going to go ahead and draw it with you, again in Sharpie. So from the bottom right-hand corner, about 2 inches in and 1.5 inches up, I'm going to make our first little line, and then about 2 inches below the horizon and 1.5 inches in, another line, another mark, and I'm just going to connect those two together. And then about 1.5 inches, 2 inches above the horizon and 3 inches in, we're just going to make another mark and connect those together. And again, it basically just looks like a diamond shape or an oval shape with corners if you really look at it. And then from our top mark, we're just going to make another little mountain peak for the top of the body. And then we're going to follow that line going down to our left side with a little bend right here. Connect those two together. And then from that bend, we're just going to connect to our original line at the bottom of the bird. And then just a little bit past where we made that bend on the left side of the bird, we're just going to make one last little shape, another little triangle, and when painted all black, it just looks like more feathers on the bird's body. Now we're going to start with the neck, so between the top and left marks, we're going to make a curved line. And then we're just going to make another line following that curve. And then we're just going to make a little candy cane shape for where the chin and the neck are. And then following that, we're just going to continue that line, make it more circular, connect it with our second line that we made. And then lastly, a nice triangle for the beak of the bird. And then lastly are the 2 legs and feet of the bird. So a little bit to the left of where our bottom point is on the bird, I'm going to make 2 lines that'll just fill in with black. You can just make one line and then paint it thicker if you want to. And then right here, I'm just going to draw the little feet pointing to the left. And then lastly, I will make a circle for where the knee bends. So at this point, all we have to do is fill in the bird with black. Last but not least are the shadows of the bird from standing on the wet sand. So with my detail brush, a little bit of black, and a lot of water, I'm just going to make a watered down black. And then from the feet, just a little bit of space between, I'm going to be making a series of lines, and after a while it will look like a shadow. I apologize. At this point, I completely forgot to add the birds, so I did that after I recorded everything. But basically, it's just a very wide V, and the tips of the V are curved a little bit, and where the V meets at a point, I painted a little circle, and you can leave it like that, or to make it look like it had a little body, I added a little bit of a line to make a beak and a little curve for the tail. And that is it, my friends. Good job if you made it this far and completed the painting. I'm happy with my finished product, and I hope you are with yours too. As you can see, my painting does not look like the one I got inspiration from. If your painting looks different from mine, that is totally fine. Again, I miss everyone, and I really wish I were with my Family Friday class painting alongside them. I'm also happy to know that more people have gotten the chance and opportunity to do art safely at home and on their own time. I hope these videos bring you joy and you were able to relax and not worry about the current events of the world, even just for a little bit. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next time.